Why, hello, everyone. How's it going? It's Sunday. It's the third day, and it's like 11 a.m., so I expect full energy from every single person out there. Come on. Come on. Thank you. That was, you know what? For Sunday, that was actually pretty good. Hello. I am Carrie. I work at Rooster Teeth, and I'm joined by...
My name is Liquid Monk, and I'm here bringing the Hearthstone portion of this Hearthstone broadcast.
Yeah. So what is exactly this? This is the finales of a tournament that you guys have been running.
Right.
Already?
So we've been running a Hearthstone tournament throughout the entire day of yesterday, Saturday. It's a 32-man tournament, and as you can see up here, these are our final 8 players. Anyone could sign up, no matter what your skill level. But throughout all this tournament, I think we've seen the best of the best. We have. It rhymes with Snievan.
Snievan, okay.
Versus,
I'm definitely not going to make fun of that name later.
Versus Jay. His name is actually just Jay. His parents were a little lazy.
He's only got the index finger, and he's just like, done.
Yeah.
Finished. Good.
Probably saves a lot of time in his life typing out his name, right?
Yeah, no, he's just like, done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was expecting AY, but whatever. Is it you? It's not you.
It's this guy right here.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Is it your parents gave you the name Jay? Oh, really? Someone who was also lazy? I'm just kidding. All right, cool. So, we ready to get started?
Yeah, we can welcome our players up here.
We're going to play some Hearthstone.
Yeah, give them a hand of applause.
So, just to give you guys a little bit of background, you know, I've played, I want to say, 20 matches of Hearthstone, so I am a professional. And I'm really going to be, leading the Hearthstone commentary.
Right.
I guess you've played a couple?
I played a few games, a bit more than 20 maybe?
Like 25?
25,000 maybe?
Oh, okay.
A bit around there.
Okay, so if I say anything about Hearthstone, ignore me. If he says something about Hearthstone, listen to him. If you want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, though...
Oh, we're gonna make a lot. We're gonna make a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh references throughout.
Yes. I wasn't sure if that was taboo when we're playing Hearthstone, but hey, how's it going, man? So Snievan?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Cool. And Jay.
What's up?
Okay, cool. Let's play some games.
All right. So the format of this tournament, or the format of this match, is it's going to be a best of 5.
Okay.
Both players will be bringing 3 decks, and 3 different decks of 3 different classes. And in order to win the match, in order to win the best of 5, you must win with all of your decks. So let's say I'm playing Rogue, and I win with Rogue. I can no longer play Rogue as one of my decks later on in the match. But if I lose with Rogue, I must win with Rogue later on.
Wow. That's tough. That's crazy. I mean, this is way more intense than when I play.
Way more official. When did you actually play, by the way? What kind of meta game are we talking about?
One time I looked at a net deck and I tried that.
Okay.
That's about as far as I went into the Hearthstone. We actually play a lot at the company.
Okay.
There's like a lot of times where we're there late and we're just like, hey, you want to play a game of Hearthstone? And we actually play. So it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I find that to be true about like any gaming companies. It's like Hearthstone is just something you do. Everyone does on the side.
It's really fun, and it's there's a lot of shit talking that goes on too, which is great.
Of course. Now we have our first match coming up right now. We have Snievan running some kind of shaman deck. It's kind of not too typical because it has elements of mid-range, elements of aggro maybe. It also has a really weird earth elemental. We see a lot of players at these kind of tournaments, they sort of net deck, but they always bring their own little flair into the games, and we're seeing that with the earth elemental right here.
I mean, and that seems like a big part of it too, is like you kind of start with the net deck idea and then you build on it from there. Somebody's, I hear boos. I hear noise in the audience, like in the far background. I don't know what's happening.
Things are going crazy.
Yeah, I know. All right.
Yeah, so just a big board is being brought up by Snievan. He's got the board advantage, and that's something what you want with mid-range Shaman, the Shaman deck that Snievan is really playing right now. He just has to, right now, he has to kind of overwhelm his opponent on the board, whereas Luckability, or Jay, as we can call him, he's trying to come back onto the board. It's kind of, right now, Snievan is taking the aggression, and Jay will have to defend.
You know, that's okay. That's okay, Jay.
You're fine.
Yeah, everything's okay.
We believe in you.
So, Are they? Is there any limit to the cards they can use, or is it just completely free range in terms of
Well, so
expansions?
recently there's been a new format change in Hearthstone. The format that we're using is called Standard, which, if you're familiar with Magic or maybe Yu-Gi-Oh, cards are being
Yes.
rotated in and out every few years.
Yeah.
So right now, cards, these are all cards from either the basic set
Okay.
or cards that have been released in the last 2 years.
Okay, okay, that's good to know. And that's why I'm glad you're here, because I haven't played in like 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, it's been like pretty huge metagame changes.
Yeah.
Things have like maybe slowed down a bit, even though we're seeing Snievan playing a rather aggressive deck right now.
It's looking. I'm not gonna take sides here, but it's looking pretty good for Snievan.
Yeah, Snievan maybe taking a little extra damage.
You know.
And he didn't need to, but you know, we're all having fun here.
It's a good time. It's just a good time, guys. Also, that webcam in front of you is tracking your eyes, so if you look at the opponent's monitor, we'll know.
Oh.
That's 100% true, and there's no lying there whatsoever.
Yeah.
They're focused.
Yeah, you're also actually strapped up to heart rate monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're nervous, we can tell, and that's gonna like lower the chance you get good cards.
Let's be clear. We can tell. We know.
Oh, I really wanted to see the Earth Elemental there. See, because that's a card that I think Jay would be pretty surprised at, and we would be able to see through the webcams that, oh man, he's so shocked.
We're measuring pupil dilation, everything.
Yeah.
This is state of the art.
You know, this is a very legit tournament.
Yeah.
It's actually the most important Hearthstone tournament that we've ever had.
It is. It's very true.
In the history of Hearthstone, basically.
And the most important thing is we're having fun. Ooh, fire. I'm not gonna say it. Nope. Can't talk about that.
Talk about fun.
No, I was talking about, I was like, oh, a card in his hand. I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't say that out loud. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, he played it anyway, so it's fine.
Okay, that's
I'm
Fire
good.
Elemental. Fire Elemental's a card in the base cassette, so
Yeah.
that's something you're probably very familiar with.
I saw it. I was
Very
like,
powerful card. It gives him a huge body. It takes care of the board. Everything you could want out of a card.
Let me ask you, what is your favorite deck? What is your favorite class to play as? Or do you have one? Because you must have to be so versatile.
Right.
So many.
My favorite deck right now is probably, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for whatever I say because there's just
you know
haters all
what? No,
around.
there's no hate. There's no hate.
Right now, I like
Fight
to
'em.
play like basically Yogg decks.
Okay.
Yogg is a card that was recently introduced into the last expansion,
Okay.
which basically for every spell you cast, Yogg casts a random spell in the entire game.
Yeah, that
so
sounds
every
like a-
game is different. Every game is great.
That sounds like an
Everything
asshole card.
is awesome.
Yeah. It sounds really nice, though, yeah. I was always lame and just played as either mage or rogue.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, those are like the skill-intensive decks.
Sure.
So that tells
Okay.
it tells me a lot about your personality.
Oh, I'm
Kerry.
sorry. Yeah.
You're a thinker there.
I try.
Here we have the 4-mana 7/7 coming on the board. What I found is that if you know nothing about Hearthstone, there's this big meme recently that's like 4-mana 7/7, and that's like the only thing you need to know. Anytime someone brings up a conversation about Hearthstone, all you have to say is 4-mana 7/7, and
know.
they'll get it. They'll be like, "Ha, you know what's up. You know
Yeah.
what we're talking about."
I'm going to try and remember that for later. So I can be cool.
So it's a lot of back and forth here. We're seeing that Jay has like a couple of good cards in his hand, and his hand is a lot bigger than his opponent's hand
Yeah.
right now. So even though Snievan was taking the aggression early on, it seems like
back up.
yeah, it's
It
even
really
backed
has.
up, and even Jay has taken some card advantage.
Yeah.
Perfect execute off the top. What more could Jay want?
Ooh. Jay, this is looking good.
Jay nods in agreement.
He does, yeah.
Of course,
Melvin?
he can't hear anything we're saying right now.
Okay, great, because
Yeah.
I almost did earlier. You put those
Right.
headphones back on.
Yeah.
You made the right choice. You made the right choice. They're so honorable. Like, they're like, I want to focus. I don't want to know.
A lot on the line is right here. Right now, this is actually a tournament for money. The winner.
really?
Yeah, there's money
Can
involved.
I enter?
Do you have a time machine? Do you have a DeLorean?
Yeah.
Okay, so go
Okay,
back
cool.
to yesterday.
And if I
sign
did
up.
that, how much would I be winning?
So you would be winning either 500 for the winner,
Ooh.
or this is much less, by the way.
Okay.
So it's a lot on the line. 400 for the loser here.
It's why even compete for second place?
Right,
Why
exactly.
even compete for second place? There's no point.
Someone will be going home today crying.
Yeah, it's me also because I
Okay.
didn't get any of it.
Well, even if you competed,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty exciting to watch you cast your own games, right?
I would try.
Yeah.
I would try and be like, oh man, you're gonna get it, Jay.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. All right. Things are still looking pretty good for Snievan.
Pretty good. So he's definitely going to play one of his 5 mana creatures. He's going to choose the Earth Elemental. Jay laughs a bit. He's like, "Why do you have that in your deck? That shouldn't be in your deck." And he's actually going to struggle a bit maybe to deal with it, even though he has
I
Slam.
think you're a fortune teller right now. Like you just kind of like, you don't even see the cards anymore. You're just like, oh, I know what's gonna happen. It's like you're
like-
counting cards at Vegas.
Right. It's like I'm Neo, right?
Pretty much.
I see all the code.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is probably not something I would have expected. Are we going to see a Slam in combination with this Grom Hellstream? Carrie, do you play a lot of WoW?
I used to. I was there like day one.
Okay.
And I finally, like, after 2 years of playing, I was like, I can't do this anymore. My life. My life.
I am so glad that I've like, you would expect me to play a lot of WoW, right?
Uh-huh.
As like for someone who plays Hearthstone, but I've never played a single game of WoW, and I'm
It's-
so glad it
Yes.
did not suck the
Anyway,
life out of me.
I actually still feel bad about this to this day. I got a friend into WoW,
Yeah.
and he got into it way more than me. And I got out after 2 years. Like 4 years later, he was still
Right.
playing it all the time. I felt so bad.
Is he like a pro player now? Is he like making all that dough from WoW?
No, I don't think so. I
Okay.
think, hey, do you guys know what happened to Ricky? What's he doing? I think he's a scientist now. I'm not sure. Those are my parents.
Uh-huh.
I think he's like a scientist now, so that probably is good.
Okay.
So I don't think I sparked that though.
Is this the lesson that we're gonna impart people with?
Play
WoW, become a scientist.
Play Hearthstone and buy packs with all the money
Yeah.
as from being a scientist. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Right,
Great.
right.
Every lesson learned.
I totally followed that line of logic
Yeah.
right there. It makes sense.
Oh, hey, could we get Tech on stage, please? Something went bad.
And guys, that's just game
I
one.
didn't touch anything.
You know, we're playing so hot and heavy. People
Yeah,
can rejoin though, right?
random.
Pretty quick, maybe.
If he restarts ASAP. You know, Hearthstone is played on computers. Hearthstone is played on technology.
Yeah.
And often technology is the vehicle of our games. So if technology fails, then
Just like any vehicle, sometimes they break down, and you know you're on the way to the grocery store, or maybe you're on the way from the
Maybe I
grocery
can
store.
connect fast
You got the milk in the car,
right?
you got your frozen meals, and the car breaks down. What are you gonna do? What you're gonna do is you're gonna hop onto the other car and hope.
Well, I was gonna say call an Uber,
So
but
you totally froze.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we're gonna.
Yeah, we're probably gonna regame.
Okay,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
I was gonna say usually I would just like call an Uber, but we're in Austin after
Can't
all.
do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I learned that recently.
It's
What a strange deal.
It's been a thing. We've got. There's new companies now.
Right.
Sorry
starting
about
up,
that,
yeah.
man. I don't know what happened.
So we're gonna restart the game.
Yeah, okay, restart.
Gotcha.
You know what? Things happen, guys.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Oh,
Uh,
call it.
I think that computer does not have
So
the game
let's just
called
hop back
Hearthstone.
onto the original one, maybe.
Fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah.
I think we should have it, just has to recognize the files.
Okay.
You know,
Thanks to our tech support guys.
I've got it on my iPhone.
you very much.
He could just hop on and
Oh,
play
right.
once.
I mean, I got my laptop.
Yeah.
That's not regulation.
Oh yeah.
We can't play on your laptop, but we can play on my iPhone. That's how that works.
I think you're giving some favoritism towards Apple products right here.
We can play. Fuck, I have a MacBook.
We good.
Razer laptop. Okay, we got another computer going. Guys, that's how
Alright.
crazy this is. We've already switched computers. We fried the other one.
Jay's now watching the Hearthstone cinematic, the opening cinematic.
Ooh. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? Oh, I hadn't seen it in a while. I was gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We
It
should
sounds
probably
like
just
a
play
movie.
the game. It is.
Have you seen the Warcraft movie, by the way?
I have not yet.
I've actually been trying to avoid it because it's like a thing that all my friends want to do, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I think this will like ruin my like perspective on like the whole Warcraft universe.
Yeah, I will probably watch it when it comes to home
Yeah, we
video.
good.
Yes, I agree.
Yes. All right. We're back in. New game.
Same characters.
Same characters. It's really like the other one didn't happen, and that's fine. We're just moving on.
It's basically like a do-over. Hopefully, the hands will be pretty similar. And we're seeing the old Fiery War Axe.
Yeah.
That card in Jay's hand.
Man.
Do you remember that card?
Yeah, actually, yeah. What was it? Maybe.
It's a weapon.
Oh, okay.
It
yeah.
kills stuff. It's
Yes.
really good.
Yes. I played. So here's what I did. I made sure that I played each character enough to unlock all the cards,
Okay,
and
that's
then I specialized.
okay.
That's what we call it.
Okay.
Specializing.
What game is that term from?
You know. Actually, it's from my industry. I don't know.
Okay.
I was talking like animation stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Is it actually from a game?
No. I don't
Okay, I didn't think so. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? You probably we had some players like come to our tournament and they're like, "Hey, can we play?" We're like, "Yeah, sure. All you have to do is have your own Battle.net account." And like, "Yeah, we do have our own Battle.net account."
Uh-huh.
But they come on the stage and they come and play and like they're like they open up Hearthstone and they haven't started the tutorial yet, and the tutorial takes like 20 minutes. So we're like, I'm sorry, maybe come back.
You might as well not have a Battle.net account if you're gonna do that. Yeah.
But they do it that night and they come back tomorrow.
Well,
or the
that's
day
good.
after.
Yeah. It's really easy. It's fun to play. It's free. It's awesome. It's a good game.
We got some. Again, it's kind of like a repeat of the game from last time. Snievan is developing the board. He has the initiative, and Jay will be trying to take back control of that board somehow.
And you know, he was on his way last time, so we know he can do it.
Yeah, this time it seems
Ooh.
honestly even better because now he has board control.
He does. You can tell because he did the cool thing.
Yeah, he has more stuff on
Yes.
his side of the board than his opponent.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. It's simple math, guys.
But it's going to shift once again to Snievan. Ooh. So there's that card that he just played. It's called Tuskar Totemic. It's kind of like a walrus. A walrus.
Tusk, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walrus Eskimo who puts down totems.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love their art so much. Like,
And-
that whole world.
Yeah. All the art is really amazing in Hearthstone. It's just also diverse. But he can put down a random totem. He put down one of the best totems you can get. So, you know,
Wow.
RNG is something that is
Hey.
in this game.
It happens.
But, you know, it's part of the game. It's part of why some people love it.
So, Snievan's looking pretty good. You'd say he has probably board control right now.
Yeah.
Oh. That was a pretty good move. But I mean, you know, Jay does have a lot of cards in his hand. Who knows?
Right,
I mean, I
right.
guess we could know.
Well, we cheat.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're like, I feel like kind of a god here because I can see both screens.
Just a little bit, yeah. We transcend. I just want to. I'm gonna take a little sneak peek. I'm not gonna say anything. Ooh.
Yeah, all those great cards. You probably recognize most of the cards there because they're from
Yeah.
the classic expansion.
No, I do, and that's why I'm like, ooh.
We have Senor Ragnaros. Senor, one of my friends likes to call it Senor Del Fuego. Shout outs to Admirable, of course.
Nice.
And you know what? At this stage, like, I'm actually not too sure of what kind of deck that that Jay has. It doesn't really fulfill like any of the archetypes because it has elements of Tempo Warrior. It has elements of a Control Warrior.
Man,
it's a little all over the place, but you know what? It's working for him.
I was about to say it's a good thing he can't hear you,
No.
but he totally can't hear you. Okay.
No, he can. I don't know why he just did that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe our minds are just completely in sync.
To warn you, that way you don't say anything.
Okay.
Okay, I gotcha. So let's see.
A lot more choices are possible here.
30, 26. With 2 armor. With no armor.
Yeah, well, armor is something that only certain classes can get.
Right.
Although with the advent of all these crazy cards we've come up in the recent expansions, like all those rules are out the window.
Really? Okay. See, that's where I start to lose it a little bit.
All right. So again, random totem comes out from the shaman, and he gets the taunt totem,
that
which
taunt's
is
great, yeah.
It's pretty good because right now a weapon such as Gorehowl perhaps would not be able to kill that.
Right, so he's going to get 2 out of that.
Oh, face. Face is
That
something
was a
that
good one.
probably he didn't want. He probably wanted to take board control back, but now we can see Snievan. He can actually just use a hex, which turns that big Ragnaros into a
Right.
little tiny frog.
Ooh. Let's see if he does it,
Pretty
though.
big tempo swing there. I think right now,
Obvious choice. right?
yeah, I think what Snievan is thinking right now is he's probably a little confused at Jay's deck. He's thinking, do I have to play around certain cards like Brawl that are
Right.
in Control Warrior but not in Temple Warrior? And he's just thinking about how much he wants to like go all in into this board.
I think Steven's thinking, man, I'm hungry. I wish I'd eaten breakfast. Oh well, I'll just do it after this.
That's actually equally likely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think it could go either way. So their health is all tied up, but things are definitely looking a little bit better for Snievan.
Yeah, I would say so. I think the big issue is that Jay just doesn't have anything to deal with this board right now.
Well, you know, it's first deck. You know, we'll see.
I mean, like, there's obviously going to be a lot of comebacks possible. I know for certain, I've looked at both these players' decks beforehand.
Right.
I've actually seen, like, some pretty unusual stuff. So,
Okay.
again,
Maybe a couple of cool possibilities, maybe.
yeah.
Ooh.
So, unfortunately,
we
Steven,
go.
he just wins that game after Jay cannot deal with that board.
That was good.
But because this is what we call the Conquest format,
Yes.
Steven can no longer use that deck. You know what? That might be his best deck.
It might be. He might start out foot strong.
Yeah.
But now Jay has to continue to win with that, or at least win one game with that deck.
Right, exactly,
okay.
exactly.
Now, when people are in that situation, do they generally try and play that deck immediately after to get it out of the way, or do they try and save it for the end?
That's actually a cool topic you bring up because it's still highly debated in the Hearthstone scene.
Right.
A lot of people are just saying the best way is just to flip a coin.
Okay. Okay.
And
It seems like there's no right answer there. It's like
Right,
you're
right.
either clearly it was not the best deck, so do you save it for the end and then have it all? It might be down to the very wire.
I think what most people are looking for is that they don't want to be predictable.
Right.
They don't want your opponent just to queue up a deck that completely counters that.
God, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we have a pretty interesting, pretty standard-looking zoo deck from Jay right now, but Steven, this is
Paladin versus Warlock.
yeah, Paladin versus Warlock. Yeah,
Okay.
first of all, classes.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping up on speed with that.
I'm trying. Like I said, I only know a couple things,
Yeah.
so I'll give information out when I can.
And so, in the previous game, I think Jay's deck was maybe a bit more non-standard. In this game, though, we're seeing a completely standard deck from Jay versus a really, I would want to say, the word I'm looking for is probably innovative deck.
Okay. Okay.
From Steven. There's a lot of cards here that don't really belong anywhere. Like, I've never seen a Faceless Manipulator in a Paladin deck, for instance.
Right.
And this Loot Hoarder, it leads me to believe this might be a N'Zoth deck, but then we see Secrets, which leads me to believe that this might be a Secret Paladin. So, again, kind of all over the place here.
So,
I'm
you know,
really curious to see this strategy coming
Yeah,
from
maybe there's
Steven.
a sick strategy hidden in his pocket, or maybe not. And then Jay's gonna, he's got a standard deck now, so it might do a little bit better.
Yeah. I do, because Jay has a standard deck, I do want to give the advantage to Jay right now because
Right.
Zoo is one of like the most tried and true decks.
Right.
On the other hand, Steven, he's gotten this far. He's
Sure.
won against 4 opponents, so this deck must have won at least 4 times.
Okay.
So it's not something to be underestimated.
So are they only registering 5 decks with you guys?
They're registering 3 decks.
3 decks. Okay, I'm sorry. It's best out of 5. I gotcha. Yeah. Secret.
It's that secret. It's Noble Sacrifice. Noble Sacrifice summons a little guy that's a 2/1 and it protects you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, do you have every card memorized pretty much?
Not the uncommon ones that
Okay.
no one ever uses.
The important
but, yeah,
cards.
The important
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
I just want to play Hearthstone.
So you're gonna go back after this convention and you're just gonna.
I honestly am. No, I'm already excited to play Hearthstone again.
Yeah, you're like all these new cards, right? That you're seeing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. Overwatch took over for a little bit.
Okay.
Um,
You and pretty much the rest of the world.
Pretty much the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got like the Overwatch card back.
Oh yeah, cool. So Jay is obviously an Overwatch fan,
Yeah.
and Snievan is not. Oh well, he
No,
has an
gets a
Overwatch shirt. Yeah.
This whole thing is actually an Overwatch tournament. It's just in disguise.
Right. So they're both controlling 6 characters at once. It's pretty sweet. So a lot has happened since we started talking about Overwatch.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the game is actually just over.
Wow. Okay. I just looked at everything. So
So basically,
Jay's doing pretty great.
the key thing to note again is that there's a lot of stuff on Jay's side of the board. There's
Right.
not that much stuff on Snievan's side of the
There's
board.
not.
Right.
And he's got the coin, so he could use that to help him out.
And again, in most games, whoever has more stuff is usually doing better.
There you go. Well played. Yeah, he's ready.
Leroy Jenkins comes out as the finisher. And that's actually really important because now, because he played the Leroy, he can out his opponent's secrets.
Oh, okay.
And now the secrets may not be so secret anymore.
And they're not, because it happens. So, all right, we've got a 1-1.
1-1, all
Pretty
right.
cool.
More games for us, more Hearthstone
Yeah.
action coming to you from RTX. So now Snievan has a choice whether to continue on playing the same deck or switch it up.
We already saw Jay's choice. All right. The choices have been made.
And we're going to have the two losing decks.
Yeah, they both went back. Wow. Okay.
And again, here we see N'Zoth, one of the old gods released in Whispers of the Old God in the most recent expansion. We also see a Mysterious Challenger, which is kind of the core of the Secret Paladin type. So
Yeah, Snievan
again,
wants no
all
part
over
of
the
those.
place.
Yeah.
He just wants, I want to say he wants, in this matchup, maybe he wants to stabilize a bit more. He seems to be the slower deck.
Right.
In Hearthstone or in any other card game, you usually have one player who's the aggressor, one player who's kind of like the defender.
Right.
One player who's more aggro, one player who has to play more control.
Tendency of the player or of the class that they're playing?
And actually, that you make a good point because a lot of players, they do have a tendency to play more aggressive decks, whereas other players have a tendency to play control decks. But just you have to keep in mind going into a match, there's always going to be one deck that's more aggro or more control.
Right.
And you have to play to that,
the
with
way
that
it goes.
mindset. If you're the player who's the more control, who has the more control deck, you want to play it out slow. You want to draw out the game as long as possible. Whereas
That's where you're going to succeed. Is at the end.
That's your advantage, basically.
Right. All right. So we've seen this warrior deck and this paladin deck. What are you thinking so far? We've seen both of them before.
The thing is, both these decks, I've mentioned that both these decks are kind of like a combination of two different types of archetypes.
Right.
Secret Paladin is typically an aggressive deck. N'Zoth is a control deck, whereas here, Control Warrior is a control deck, obviously.
Right.
And Temple Warrior, as the name might imply as well, is more of an aggressive deck. So both of these players, I'm not actually like, we're basically gods here on the stage.
Right.
We can see all their cards, and I still don't know like which one is more control, which one is more aggro, to be honest.
So far, it's looking like Jay's trying to take a little bit more of a lead here. He's got a taunt up. He's at full health.
The key turn here will be turn 6, in which he can play the Mysterious Challenger and draw out all the secrets from his decks. That'll be pretty strong. Aldor Peacekeeper does give Frothing Berserker, set him to 1 attack, but the ability is still active, so he'll be able to go on the aggression right here. 7 to the dome.
Yep. Oh, dude, this is starting to shape up a little bit.
Yeah, and to me at least, it seems like Jay has the definite advantage because Snievan cannot deal with this Frothing Berserker. And, that was so important,
Those
by the way.
swirly bits, that's Whirlwind, right? Is that what that is?
It's a whirlwind effect.
Yes.
Right, you got that.
I remembered.
So basically,
twice.
what?
No, it was in the attack twice?
That's whirlwind.
That's Whirlwind, I'm sorry.
That's Wind Fury.
Wind Fury. That's what I was thinking.
Whirlwind is when you do 1 damage to all the creatures on the board.
Ah.
So basically, as you astutely mentioned, this Ravaging Ghoul creature, that's the 3/3 on Jay's side of the board. It's a ghoul that ravages.
Oh.
So.
Oh, I never would have guessed.
Yeah. Its ability is a built-in whirlwind.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So when it comes onto the board, it'll do 1 damage to all creatures.
Secret.
Oh, something comes back on the field. So again, this Frothing Berserker is doing so much work. But as we mentioned before, this is the key turn for Snievan. He gets to play a 6-mana creature, the Mysterious Challenger, the core of his deck. But will it be enough?
We'll see.
There's already 6 damage on board, but one of the 3 damages, one of the 3 attack creatures, either the Fiery War Axe or the Ravaging Ghoul, will be blocked by a Noble Sacrifice that is sure to be one of the secrets.
Right.
So effectively, he can block 3 damage, which means that Jay is 5 damage off from lethal at this point.
So there are 5 secrets normally in the deck?
It really depends these
Okay.
days. Back when, again, this was more of a common deck before standard, pretty
Right.
much like 3 months ago.
Okay.
These days, like, it's just all over the place.
Right.
Secret Paladins can be anything.
Do you find, like, has the meta actually reshaped at all, or is it still kind of in the process?
It's steadying, I would say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's never set, but I mean, you know, it definitely those first couple of weeks after a
Right.
new expansion, it seems like it's all over the place.
Well, it's definitely better now because I would say like 3 months ago, the meta actually was set. For about three
I
or
see.
so months, like basically nothing had changed.
Right.
Which is why we all welcomed this new expansion so much.
Yeah, that's great. Did you know that a character with no attack value cannot attack?
I did not actually.
I just learned something.
That actually, like, those messages are actually pretty funny because when you start off on a new computer, no matter how old your account is, they give you like more messages.
Just so you know.
Yeah. So it could be possible that
You get to draw a card at the beginning of the game.
it tells you what Pot of Greed is. Do you know that one?
No, actually.
Pot of Greed.
What's that one?
It lets you draw 2 cards.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like, here you go.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I promised you
So
that
early.
I would try to fit in as many Yu-Gi-Oh
Now, do you think they're going to bring kunai with chains to this game?
Kunai
anytime
with
soon?
chains. I think there will be more Dark Magicians available. Kunai with chains is a very obscure one.
I just love it from the anime.
Yeah.
The way he shouts it.
Kunai with change, and I will summon 3 more Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Huh? That first episode, he just rips the card, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no.
It's like my soul was.
It's a good thing that my grandfather's deck has no bad cards.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting them all out.
I'm being grievously injured by a children's card game.
So I was just about to ask, how do you think it's looking? He's got the only one on the board.
Well-
and that happened. So. Ooh.
You know what is funny though?
Hmm.
Faceless Manipulator is not a card that we ever see, but it could be useful to kill off the Ragnaros. But then again, he's still at 2 HP. The weapon in Jay's hand is 3 attack, which means
He's not even
50-50.
Oh, he did.
yeah, he heals 2 from True Silver,
Gotcha.
which means right now he hits the Ragnaros, so now he's 1 off from lethal. If Jay has any charge creature, which we can see that he probably does,
Yeah.
since we're God.
Yeah.
We can see his entire hand. And he takes it.
He's got it.
Yeah. So, again, yeah, congrats to
Yeah,
Jay.
Good job, guys.
The unconventional deck from Snievan may be his downfall,
Might be.
unfortunately.
So now he's got to use it, and he's got to beat Jay.
Well, he has 2 decks remaining. So he could use his
I guess
other
that's
deck
true.
to beat Jay's remaining
I'll learn
deck.
the rules one day.
Yeah. You know, if this is Yu-Gi-Oh, we're just making up the rules as we go along
That's
anyway.
exactly how that game works.
Yeah.
Especially when I was playing it, I was just like, I want to play this card now.
Especially in the anime, though.
Yeah.
They actually just made up
They
rules
just
as
made
went
up shit
along.
all the time.
All right, so Snievan, back to a very standard deck. This is what we call a tempo mage.
Okay.
A tempo mage, basically, it's a lot like, yeah, pretty quick.
Okay.
Pretty quick mage, yeah.
Okay.
So it actually describes it very well. Tempo, it tries to get tempo. It tries to get stuff on the board. It tries to do very efficient things. Mage, it also describes its deck very well because a mage is like something that like fling out a lot of spells, right?
Right.
And this is exactly what that deck does. A lot of frostbolts deal 3 damage. A lot of random missiles all over the place.
So it sounds like it's safe to say that Steven's probably going to be the aggressor on this one.
Well, funny you should say that
Okay.
because
This is why I'm asking.
Shaman is also very known to be an aggressive deck, although we can see a Hex in Jay's hand, which means that maybe it's more of the mid-range type.
Okay.
It's yet to be seen. But with the totem up with just the hero power, that's not a very aggressive move. So the game has slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah. It's only the first round.
Let's make magic.
So I expect this to be more of a back and forth. Again, a mid-range Shaman is a deck that really relies on board control. So keeping control of the board, it has a lot of things like Flame Tongue Totem, which only works if you have a board.
Okay.
So
okay.
it's even more important to keep the board. Whereas Steven, he doesn't necessarily need to keep track of the board
It
because
seems like he can just kind of like every
Yeah.
turn, like, all right, here's what I'm going to do this time. You know?
yeah, he has more spells in his deck, so what that means is he can kill stuff more efficiently.
Right. So I'm assuming Hearthstone wasn't the first card game you ever played.
No, it was not. It was not. I played Yu-Gi-Oh.
You played Yu-Gi-Oh? I did
played,
too.
Yeah, I played Pokemon TCG.
I absolutely
yeah.
did too.
And that's about it. Everyone gives me shit for like not playing Magic, you know, because that's like
Right.
Yeah.
The staple. I played it a little bit, but not much.
Right, I hear
used to Toys R Us used to have card tournaments every Saturday.
Right.
My parents took me.
oh,
It was
yeah,
fun.
Great parents, of
They
course. Yeah, right up on stage.
Yeah. Pokemon, then Yu-Gi-Oh, back to back. I was the cool kid at school.
So is this what we're telling kids? Like, if your parents take you to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, you can like be like Carrie and be on stage. Right
Exactly.
now?
Yeah. If you've ever played Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh before, you basically work at Rooster Teeth already. It's like you're right there.
Yeah. So that's
But-
basically everyone
But
here.
you had to play it when you were 10 at Toys R Us on Saturday mornings. Okay, there's still a couple people.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'll see you Monday.
Yeah. We got a lot of Carrie clones in the
Yeah.
audience.
Snievan's nodding. I think he knows what's happening right now.
I think he's very happy that the Hex was used on a lowly Flame Waker.
It was pretty early.
Yeah. It's not like the best target for Hex. And I probably want to say that Snievan is in a good lead right now simply because he has such a high value card in his deck, namely Flame Strike.
Right.
That's probably one that you remember.
Yes, I do remember that one.
It's the card that like
It's great.
just kill everything.
It's
basically.
decimates.
Yeah. Yeah, basically
Get
kill
rid-
everything.
Get rid of that taunt. And then
Mage has just so many spells.
Yeah.
Oh, taunt. So what is a taunt, Carrie?
a taunt means that the other player has to attack that card before they can do anything else, before they can attack any other cards.
Okay.
That's pretty close?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
good. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And
Oh,
this is
boy.
actually one of the hints that the game gives you if you once
Oh,
you're starting
good.
out.
I might need it.
So if your card or your creature is stealthed and taunted,
Ooh.
what happens then?
I think you don't have the taunt doesn't exist until they're revealed.
Yes, that's correct. One for
Yes, I'm
You
the
are
real winner.
You're so good at this game.
I'm not gonna get $500 or $400, but I did get that right,
Right.
and that's all that matters to me.
And here, even more value here from Steven's deck. He just kill everything basically. 2 Flame Strikes.
That'd be pretty nice. He's coming up. He's on. You know, we're on turn 7. He's turn 6.
Turn 7 right now.
Turn 7. Okay.
And right now, it just seems to be like a slow, grindy game. Even though Jay does have some stuff on the board, it's very weak stuff.
Yeah. These are how my games normally go. There's a lot of back and forth.
That's pretty good, actually.
Is it okay?
Okay, I expected you to kind of like to ride yourself and be like, oh, my game's like, I just always die in like the second turn.
No, it usually comes down like when I play, it's like it comes down to like 5 to 5, and then I lose.
Okay, 5 to 5.
I fight though. I fight.
Okay, you're a brawler. You're a
Yeah.
brawler. Yeah.
I got the claws and I just kind of Yeah, it seems pretty even, but Snievan definitely seems to have the card advantage. Ooh, 5/5 taunt.
Not bad. But again, it's just
Those are
such
some
high value
cool
cards
effects.
here. We're gonna see Senor Del Fuego coming on the board,
I'm excited for that.
perhaps. He can also just clear the board. A lot of options to him.
There,
Really, it's
sky's the limit.
yeah. It's very hard to play incorrectly here because all the options are just so good.
Yeah.
Jay's crossing his fingers,
He's not feeling happy right now.
but little does he know that the effects actually already happened. So his fingers would have to be able to transcend time and space.
Yeah, which, I mean, we don't know him well enough. They might. All right, so Overload just got played. What exactly does that mean for the people? who don't understand Hearthstone?
Overload. Okay, Overload is basically, first of all,
Yeah.
Overload was a thing back
It
when.
is. I just don't remember the definition. If I was playing,
Right.
I would remember.
Okay.
It's muscle memory.
Right, so Overload is basically like you taking a loan.
Okay.
Right, so basically something costs 4 mana overload 2.
Right.
Which means that it costs 4 mana now, but next turn
It takes-
you'll have to pay it back. You can't use 2 of your mana.
Okay. Okay. So normally that card would probably have been a 6, but it lets you play it early.
Yeah. So it's basically it's around a 6 mana creature
Right.
in terms of power level.
Right. Okay. That sounds familiar.
And again, 4 mana 7/7. That is the 4 mana 7/7.
Ah.
That just died. Rip 4 mana 7/7. Just keep
You'll be
repeating that.
missed.
And
4
this-
mana 7/7.
Yeah, as long as you, like, if you don't know what to say,
Yeah.
say 4 mana 7/7.
That sounds great. No, I'll remember that. I want to bring it up next game.
And judging by how it's looking right now, there might be 4 mana 7/7s in the next game.
There
It's
might be.
it's only in the Shaman class.
Oh.
Oh, this is going to be a huge one,
Ooh.
actually. Dueling Ragnaroses. Does it hit?
This is like this.
Oh, the game just turned around right there.
That needs to be in the Warcraft movie. I think we just saw the Warcraft movie happen.
So right now, Snievan is putting his cursor over Jay's one last card.
Yeah.
An unknown rule about Hearthstone is
Yes.
if you put your cursor over your opponent's card
Okay.
hard enough, you'll be able to find out what card that is.
Yeah. Or you just turn it to shit. It's just
Okay.
it's nothing.
Yeah. That's like if you're like on another level. Then.
Yeah. It's on the.
Harry,
it's
I
just
don't have
like
those
a-
powers. If you play, you probably will.
I might. We'll see. Oh, you guys can't do that? That's not standard for the game? Steven's thinking. I get his head's moving a little bit, like he's just like looking past the code. He's trying deep into the game.
You know, for these players, neither of these players are pro players. This is probably their first time, or I know for a fact that this is their first time
Right.
playing in this environment. So, you know, you gotta play your best. You gotta show the world what's up.
You know, and for a first tournament, I think RTX is pretty good.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
Start.
Not bad, I would say.
Yeah.
Again, we mentioned this is like probably the biggest tournament there is in the history of Hearthstone.
I mean, obviously, like
Yeah.
there's look at the crowd.
Yeah.
This is the biggest Hearthstone.
Yeah, what up, crowd?
Hey, how's it going? How does it feel to be a part of the biggest Hearthstone tournament ever? Yeah.
Ah,
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you too.
Aw.
We're making friends up here. So knocking out that one real quick.
And I think that's gonna be game. We're gonna have a lightning storm and a bloodlust coming down.
And then that's going to be it. Find out. Just to see. Why not?
Basically, lightning storm will clear the board. The last creature of Azure Drake will be cleared from Snievan, and then the combination of Ragnaros plus an attack from the field will close it off. Or just yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Also, nice shirt. Thank you.
All right. Can we have everyone up here? We're all friends here.
Yeah, good time. Come on.
So Jay, you just won your first international Hearthstone championship. How do you feel?
This is awesome considering I didn't even think I'd get into the tournament.
That's awesome, man. How you feeling, Steven?
Pretty good. Interesting text that he brought to the matches here. I wasn't expecting the rag at all from his shaman.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good for you. Like, you thought it was probably looking good, right?
Yeah, and those 2 rag hits, never lucky, man.
Of course, we have to get some Twitch memes in here, right?
Of course, yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I think it was a really fun tournament.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
We're good.
All right, we're all tied up. Time to find out who the real winner is. You know, when this is all over, maybe I